Let's go defense, Ryan, and let's start off with this. I think this I want to talk about the defense overall. One thing I don't think Notre Dame fans have enough of appreciation against is, has the defense been great? No. Are there areas where it needs to get better? Absolutely. The defense can and must play better than it has so far through the first 5 games.
Yep.
What I don't think enough Notre Dame fans are taking into account, however, is the context of who Notre Dame has played. And I'm getting a lot of complaining about, they're not doing this and they're not doing that, and they need to play better here and play better there. And my thing is, I don't think the people that are doing that, and look, it's got to get better. This area, run defense. I wrote an article this week saying the rush defense has to get better, and we'll talk about that. But I think what people also have to kind of consider is this is an offense, in my opinion, or defense, in my opinion, that also has played some very good football teams so far this year. Notre Dame has played 3 offenses that, after last week's games, rank in the top 20 and actually the top 17 in offensive efficiency. Ohio State's number 1. North Carolina, I think, is 14th, and BYU is 17th. So they've played really good teams so far this season. And what we have to look at is, has Notre Dame been good? No. Yes. Have they been great? No. But here's something you have to consider if you're going to evaluate the defense. Here's some numbers I'd like for you to consider. That Notre Dame has held every single one of their opponents to the defense has held every single one of their opponents to at least 8 points below their season scoring average and at least 59 yards below their season average. The lowest point difference was Cal. That was 8.8. The lowest yards difference was Marshall at 59. After you take out the 8.8 for Cal, every other opponent has been at least 10 points below their season scoring average against Notre Dame. Now, we're just looking about offense versus defense. So Marshall scored 26 points. I'm only counting 19 as we look at the matchup against the Notre Dame defense, because a pick 6 is not the defense giving that play up. You can't put that on the defense. Every other opponent has been at least 134, at least 102 yards below their season total in yards per game. Now, that's with the Notre Dame games in the statistics. If you take the Notre Dame games out, considering they held every team to below their season averages, those numbers go up even higher. If you take the Ohio State game out, if you take the Notre Dame game away from Ohio State, Notre Dame is held Ohio State to something like almost 40 points below their season scoring average. Over 30 points below their season scoring average. Even as it stands today, with Notre Dame holding them to 21 points, they've held Ohio State to 27 points below their season average, 148.7 below their season yards average. North Carolina, who is a top 15 offense, they held them to 10.3 points below their season scoring average. It gets close to 20 if you take the Notre Dame game out. And they held North Carolina, with those big plays at the end, still 134 yards below their season average. BYU was held 12 points below their current season scoring average and 134.8 yards below their season total offense average. Jaron Hall had his worst career game from a yard standpoint, his worst career game from a completion standpoint, and his worst career game from a completion percentage standpoint. Worst of his career as a starter. And then Marshall was held 10 points below their season average, 59 yards below their season average. Cal was held 8.8 points below their season average and 102 yards below their season average. So the defense has been good. Can it be great? Yes. But it needs to get better to be great. But let's not get it twisted. This has still been a good defensive football team. I think the issue that a lot of people are having, and I'm actually okay with it, is they hold the defense to such a high standard. They look at the numbers and the fact that they haven't had a great 4-quarter game, and they say that's not good enough. But again, it's harder to do that when you're playing really good offenses week after week. They're going to hit a stretch now over the next couple games where they're not playing very good offenses. Or UNLV's actually had a pretty decent offense this year, Ryan. For who they've played, it's a terrible matchup for them against Notre Dame.
Yes.
And so it's one bad offense or one not very good offense, and then another offense that you just need to be able to overwhelm.